भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदिगौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, you are welcome for continuity of our Bhakti Shastri study of, Bhakti Vaibhav study of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3rd, and we are in a section which actually the second part of the Canto 3. The first part is the appearance of Varhadev, and the second part is Kardam Muni Devhuti's marriage and the teaching of Lord Kapil Dev to Mother Devhuti. So these are two sections of the third canto basically. So we are in a section, second section, and the chapter 21st, conversation between Manu and Kardam. Kardam meets Swayambhu Manu. So the summary of the chapter by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, the summary of the chapter is, in the 21st chapter, the Lord satisfied with Kardam's austerity. Lord satisfied with Kardam's austerity. It means Lord is satisfied when somebody perform austerity. So austerity is most important for pleasing the Lord. Like Brahma started his life with austerity. He only heard the word tappa. He only heard the word tappa. Okay, this will work. It's okay. 150 will okay. Yeah, it works. Thoda kam. Party. All right, Hare Krishna. So tappa, austerity, it means austerity is one of the requirements for pleasing Supreme Lord. So Kardam Muni satisfied Lord by austerity and prayers. Describe his future marriage. Swayambhu Manu arrives. This is the content of chapter 1, or 21. All right. So here we are. The first 5 verses describe Vidur's inquiry about the dynasty of Swayambhu Manu. So 5 verses is the inquiry, questions. Vidur Vacha Swayambhuvasya cha Manu Vansaha Paramasamattaha. The word Paramasamatta is most important. The purport, Prabhupada, Samata, Samata. Agreeing. Samati. Okay. And also Samata means accepted by authorities. So Parama Samata. It means though they married, they have husband and wife, but their progeny was accepted by rishis. Parama Samataha. Kathyatam Bhagavan Yatra Maithunyaye Edhire Praja. Prajaha. Praja means children, and Edhire means increased. So now the translation on Vidur said the line of Swayambhu Manu was most esteemed. O worshipable sage, I beg you, give me the account of this race, whose progeny multiplied through sexual intercourse. O Maitreya, please describe the lineage of highly respected. It means Parama Samanta. Swayambhu Manu, in which the population increased through procreation. Tell me about the esteemed dynasty of Manu, Srila Prabhupada's purport. Since this is the first marriage during the Swayambhu Manu's time of creation by Brahma, so Srila Prabhupada is speaking, regular sex life to generate good population is worth accepting. Actually, the Vidur was not interested in hearing the history of persons who merely engage in sex life, but he was interested in progeny of Swayambhu Manu because in that dynasty good devotee kings appeared who protected their subject very carefully with spiritual knowledge. Prabhupada sometimes visits somebody's house, and usually when we go to somebody else, they will bring their whole family. So his 5 uncle, his Prabhupada says, this is all sex life. Because this is what he's speaking, is sex life. So Prabhupada is just saying, so Vidur is not interested in sex life, but is interested in those kings who protected their citizen by spiritual knowledge. So this line is important. The kings must protect their citizen by spiritual knowledge. And then in 5th canto we should remember, the king should not rule the citizen if he is not able to deliver them. Like a father should not beget children if he is not able to deliver. So in that way, these kings were protector of their citizens by spiritual knowledge. By hearing the history of their activities, therefore, one becomes more enlightened. So hearing the history of such kings like Maharaj Parikshit, Yudhishthira Maharaj, Janak Maharaj, one is enlightened. An important word used in this connection is Parama Samataha, which indicates that the progeny created by Swayambhu Manu and his sons were approved by great authorities. Approved by a great Samanta. Approved by great authorities. In other words, sex life for creating exemplary population is acceptable to all sages and authorities of the Vedic scripture. Then which verse is coming in your mind from Bhagavad Gita? Dharma virdo kamo asmi bharata rishabha. So I am that sex life which is not against religious principle. Is there some other verse? Prajanas chasmi kandrapaha. I think some other verse in Bhagavad Gita among the Kandrapa. Kandrapa means Cupid. Prajanas means that is for progeny. So I think that one is the very famous verse, the other verse is also there, which is that after all, the creation is also the Leela of Supreme Lord. And this is a mercy. For the conditioned soul, creation is a merciful pastime of Lord to give them a second chance. And therefore, for creation, there is a need of some say male and female, according to the principle of Vedic rules and regulation, then it is cooperation with the Supreme Lord in the process of creation. Otherwise, from where you will get the saintly people? From where you will get sannyasis? From where you will get brahmacharis? From where you will get the leaders, right? You need that. So, for preaching purpose, definitely there is a need for a properly guided grasta ashram. There is a cooperation with Supreme Lord in creation to deliver the conditioned soul, to give them second chance. So the next verse question is Priyavarta Utan Padao. So these are the two names of the son of Swayambhu Manu, Priyavarta and Utan Pada. Priyavarta means one whose woes are very dear. Priyavarta. Varta means woes. So one whose woes are very dear. It means he lived with Devrishi Narada and he has a vow of celibacy. He was a Naistiki Brahmachari. And he was ready to accept the renounced order. So that is Priyavarta meaning. And Utanpad means? The word meaning of Utanpad means? Pad means leg, Utan means up. Anybody born in this world, from the womb of mother, his legs are up and head is down. Everybody is Utanapad in that sense. Legs up and head down. It means a living entity coming in this life is Utanpad. And he has two choices, Suniti and Suruchi. Suniti means work according to the religious principle. Then you will get a result Dhurva, which is permanent. And if you go for Suruchi, according to your own wills, then you will get Uttam, which may be temporary. So it's like the words will give you the message, what it means actually. So, Sutao Swayambhu Manu Savai, these are the two sons of Swayambhu Manu. Yatha Dharmam Jugupatahu. They ruled according to the religion's principles. Sapta Dvipavatim Mahim. Mahim means Mother Earth. Sapta means 7 islands. And Srila Prabhupada speak about 2 things. 7 islands are still recognized in the present geography. And second thing Prabhupada will say, they ruled according to the Dharma. So 2 great sons of Swayambhu Manu, Priyavarta and Utanpada, ruled the world consisting of 7 islands just according to the religious principle. Now Srila Prabhupada's part. Srimad Bhagavatam is also a history of the great rulers of the different parts of the universe. In this verse, names of Priyavarta and Utanpada, son of Swayambhu Manu, are mentioned. They ruled this earth which is divided into 7 islands. The 7 islands are still current: Asia, Europe, Africa, America, Australia, and North and South poles. There is no chronological history of all the Indian kings in the Srimad Bhagavatam, but the deeds of the most important kings such as Priyavarta and Utanpad and many others like Lord Ramchandra, Maharaj Yudhishthira are recorded because the activities of such pious kings are worth hearing. People may benefit by studying their histories. So, 7 islands, presently they are the islands, 5 and North and South Pole, 5 plus 2, it's not working. This net is 2. Is there some other way? Or maybe you are recording, you can share, what can I do, okay? I should just, try again. Finish. All right, Hare Krishna. Next. Tasya vai duhita Brahman. Duhita means, the word duhita comes from milking cow. Duhita, Duhin. And the daughters And a Vedic system is called Duhitra. It means one who milked the cow. And this word Duhitra is in English daughter. Duhitra become daughter. Dhi, in Punjabi they say dhiyan. Then again Duhitra is coming from milking cow. The girls were supposed to milk cows. Have anybody of you ever milked cow? Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. 5. Goat. Okay, goat is all right. Goat is all right. His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj used to see by milking cows, he said you can maintain your brahmacharya, something like that. He said something like that once. He used to milk cows sometime in New Vrindavan. So Dvaitra, Devhuti iti Vishruta. Vishruta means we have heard. Among the daughters of the Swayambhu Manu, one is Devhuti. What is the meaning of Devhuti? Deva Avahanam Yaha Devhuti. The one who can call the Supreme Lord to appear as his son is Devhuti. Kapil Dev is his son. Dev Ahuti. Ahuti means, when in a Vedic mantra you have to Avahan. Avahan means you call and he cannot say no. That is called Avahanam. You invite, he may not come, but you Avahan, he has to come. He cannot say no. So Deva means Supreme Lord. Ahuti, Avahan, the one who can invite the Supreme Lord. So the son of the Devhuti is Kapil Dev. So that is Devhuti. Patni Prajapati Ukta Kardamasya. She become the wife of Kardam Muni. Tavya Ananga. Ananga is the address to the Anaga means sonless one, is the address to the speaker. It means who is the speaker here? Maitreya. Anybody know the parampara of Maitreya? Because before starting speaking to Vidra, Maitreya has explained his parampara. Yes, he's a Kumar Sampradaya. He's a follower of Kumar Sampradaya, yes. And then Kumara too? Four Kumaras too. No, from four Kumar got it from where? Sankarshan. And then Sankhya and Muni, then Parasar Muni, then Maitreya. And also there's a one friend simultaneously, Vyas. Something is like that. So it is better to remember what we learn from that. Anywhere if we have to speak, we must explain our parampara, which we are not doing. So generally when we speak, we can say, even in olden days marriages, they used to tell their genealogy. Maharaj Janak started genealogy from the Nimi Maharaj. And Maharaj Dasratha started genealogy from Ikshvaku. So similarly, when we go to preach, we said this, we are representing the parampara which is started by Supreme Lord himself and through Lord to the Brahma, from Brahma to Narad, and from Narad to Vyas, Vyas to Sukdev. In this way, in this parampara, Madhvacharya, and then Madhvacharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted this parampara through Madhavendra Puri. So this means when you speak like this, then people think you are a bona fide parampara. And I heard one spiritual master, he was initiating somebody, said, I am connecting you to the parampara. He not said that I am accepting you as a disciple. He said, I am connecting you to the bona fide Gaudiya, Madhva Gaudiya, Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. So when we speak authentically, that we are representing parampara, it means at least we should link ourselves to the parampara before speaking. So when we say Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya, it means we offer our prayers to spiritual master, Guruve, Gaurachandra, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Radhika, Radharani, and her associates, then Krishna, his devotees, and devotees of his devotees. It means when you say these words, you say Krishna's devotees, okay, Uddhava and others, and then Krishna's devotee, our parampara from the Brahma, Narada, Madhva. It should come in your mind at least till the six Goswami and the our Jagannath Babaji to Prabhupada. This, when you say this, it should not be a mechanical, just talking with the tongue, but it should be meditation on the whole parampara. At least my experience, at least I say Krishna, Krishna Bhakta, I can see at least from the six Goswami what is on our altar, that this parampara we are representing. This is the, we have to be pipe connected with the parampara, and we should deliver the message what is coming through parampara. So that is important for our practical, actually, in our life, that when we speak, we connect ourselves to the parampara. And when we speak in a, big audience, it's better we should explain our spiritual lineage. That will be, like, you have never heard Shankaracharya speak. Have you ever heard? Before Shankaracharya speak, their next would-be Shankaracharya will come there, and he will in Sanskrit speak something from Shankaracharya, his achievement, all. Then he is in that line. Now he is going to represent something. They give the whole. And even when Prabhupada used to speak sometime in big program, he wanted his disciple to explain about who Prabhupada is, from where he came, what is his lineage. So this is important. The person who is speaking must be bona fide, and people should know he's speaking in some proper, parampara. Is it okay? Now we are going to the verse number. O holy Brahman, Ananga. O sinless one. Sinless is Ananga. Aga means pap. A means free from sin. You have spoken of the daughter known by the name Devhuti as the wife of the sage Kardam, the Lord created beings. The Lord of created beings. Lord of created beings means Prajapati. Praja means children. Pati means father. O Brahman, I have heard from you the Swayambhu Manu who had famous daughter named Devhuti, who was the wife of Kardam. Here we are speaking of Swayambhu Manu, but in Bhagavad, now Prabhupada is simply saying, because people may think there's only one Manu. So in Bhagavad Gita, the seventh Manu is there, Vivasvat. So this Manu is the first Manu, Swayambhu Manu. So there are 14 Manu in one day of Brahma. And now it is seventh Manu ruling right now. And how many... what is the duration of the ruling of one Manu? 70? 71? 72? 71, 72. I read yesterday 72, but I usually say 71. Huh? Actually 1000 Chatur Yugis, but because of Sandhis and all that, it comes to 71 or sometime 72. Chatur Yugis, right? In one Manu's time. In Manu's office, there is a watch like that, which is not 12 hours, it has 14 hours. Each hour is a one Manu's time. And then 60 seconds are there in 1 hour, right? There are 71 times 4 yuga is there. Seconds. His watch is like that. You can make a Manu's watch sometime. This is the watch in the office of Manu, 14 Manvantra, and 72 each Manvantra 4 times yuga. And then in 1 minute we have 60 seconds. And what about one Chatur Yugi? You count that many. This is the time of Manu. I think last time we have said something, if you remember. Somebody went to Manu and told, not Manu, Brahma. But he asked from Brahma, your 1 minute is equal, your 1 second is equal to millions of years? Brahma says, yes, true. That means your 1 rupee is million of rupees in this world? He said, yes. He said, Brahma, give me one. He said, wait a minute. Will he give? Huh? He will receive this. 1 minute wait for Brahma. His life will be over. Yeah, not his, but his for his 1,000,000 generation will be over. That happened to the father of Revati when he went to Brahma to ask which king I should marry my daughter. And Brahma was a little busy for a minute. He said, oh, all those kings are gone. No way. What can we do? So Balaram is there, his eternal, husband. So, Tasyam savai mahayogi yuktayam yoga lakshanahi sasarjaha katidaha viryam tanme sushrushve vada. Now there are qualification of the husband and wife. Tasyam savai mahayogi, that Kardam was a mahayogi. And yukt ayam yoga lakshanai, and Devuti was also very expert in yoga. Both. Sasarja katida, what Sasarja means? How many children they produced. Viryam. Tanme sushruve, I want to hear about that. Particularly, how many offspring did that great yogi beget through the princess who was endowed with eightfold perfection in the yoga principle, yoga lakshanai? Oh, pray tell me this, for I am eager to hear it. Since I desire to hear, please tell me how the great yogi Kardam produced some sons in Devuti. Virya means sons. But there is only one son, who was disciplined in the stage of yoga. So Devuti was also disciplined in the stage of yoga, and Kardam was a Mahayogi. So how many children you know of them? One son and 9 daughters. 9 daughters and 1 son. So the first marriage of Swayambhu Manu and Shatrupa, 2 sons and 3 daughters. Then the second marriage, Devuti and Kardam, 9 daughters and 1 son. It means always the girls are more on the planet from the beginning. You can see this whole, everywhere you can see like that. So this is also sometimes I speak in public, they say that they kill the girls in the womb, so this is not good because already they have so many, but there's no problem with them. All the 9 daughters of the Kardam, you remember the names, and they are all married by great sages, and Brahma arranged those marriages. When the Kapil Dev appeared, Brahma came there along with some sages, and then he suggested, these daughter you should marry with this and this rishi. Some were with him, and some he suggested that they are matching with those rishis. Any at least 2 or 3 names you can tell me where the daughters of Devuti married the sages? Anusuya married to Atri Rishi, yes. Arundhati to the Vasishta. So find out the names of Devuti's daughters and who the rishis they are married to. And most of the progeny is coming from these rishis. They are our Gautra Rishi. Gautra Rishi means so many generations are coming from these rishis. So maybe in the next session we can have the names of the 9 daughters of the Devuti. Okay, right, sorry. Some other names are very good. Name of Dharma. Dharma married with some daughters of Daksha. And all names are so wonderful, and their sons' name are the good characters actually. They're worth always remembering. By the way, who is the son of Dharma and Murti? Murti is a wife and Dharam is a father. Yagna is a son of Akuti and Ruchi. Presiding deity of Bharatvarsh. Nara Narayan is the son of Dharam and Murti, the presiding deity of Bharatvarsh. The Murti Mata's temple is in Badrika Ashram, the mother of Nara Narayan. Once in a year, Udhav as a representative of Nara Narayan goes to visit the mother Murti. On the Badrinath, there is a... Yes, you थोड़ा कम करें. बद्रीनाथ आश्रम में गए हैं आप? विजिट किया है ना? नहीं किया है? हाँ? कितने लोगों ने किया है? My God! In ISKCON, all the brahmacharis always had all the holy places of Bharatvarsh visited during Sankirtan buses. These were the golden days of ISKCON. There were Sankirtan buses always going with 10 devotees, and their only, actually, the impetus for Sankirtan was to travel to all the holy places. Yes. Once I think it was opening of the Bangalore temple, the present Ritvik temple. Bombay's Sankirtan bus was there. And then Vaishno Maharaj at that time was a brahmachari, and I think some devotee from here, Sankirtan leader, we took that bus. From there we went to Guru Vayur, we went to Sri Rangam, we went all the holy places. From there till Chennai, we came to Chennai. This was actually the benefit of traveling Sankirtan party, that they have seen all the holy places. All the holy places. And they learned something. I think why it is just stopped anymore. You don't have any bus anymore, no? In Juhu. You have 4? That's good. So every Nirjal Ekadashi, Sankirtan buses are always up in the Badrika Ashram. All Sankirtan leaders go there. Nirjal Ekadashi, no need of water there because it's already temperature 5-4. Every year I go there. Every year, for many years we go. Every year we go Himalaya for the Nirjal Ekadashi. So I'm saying from Badrik, this is Narayan Parbat is a Badrik ashram, and you walk from there 1.5 kilometers, you reach the Murti Mada's temple, and there's a path going on that side. The other side is called Nar Parbat, and on that side is a Mana village, the first village of India. So anyway, what I'm saying is, here the purport. Here Vidur inquired about Kardam Muni and his wife Devhuti and about their children. It is described here that the Devhuti was very much advanced in the performance of the eightfold yoga, Yoga Lakshanai. So now Prabhupada has given the 8 names of the Ashtanga Yoga. There are in English, you tell me in Hindi, or in Sanskrit. Okay, what is the first? Control of the senses. And strict following the rules and regulation. Name. Yam, name. Yam means don't. Yam means if you do that, you go to Yamraj. Remember, yam means anything you do, you go to Yamraj. That's called yam. Name means you follow, you go to Narayan. Yam, name. Very simple. Do's and don'ts. Something like that. So, and then third one is control of this sitting. Oh, third. Practice of the different sitting postures, asana. Okay. And for control of breath. Withdrawing the senses from sense object. Concentration of mind. Meditation. And self-realization. So this is in Sanskrit name for the 8, okay? After self-realization, there are 8 further perfectional stages called Yoga Siddhis. Anima, Lagima, Mahima. These are the 8 Siddhis after the perfection. The husband and wife Kardam and Devoti were advanced in the yoga practice. The husband was Mahayogi, a great mystic, and the wife was Yoga Lakshana, or one advanced in yoga. They united and produced children. Formerly, after making their lives perfect, great sages and saintly persons used to beget children. Otherwise, they strictly observed the rules and regulation of celibacy. Brahmacharya, following the rules and regulation of celibacy, is required for perfection of self-realization and the mystic power. There's no recommendation in the Vedic scripture that one can go on enjoying material sense gratification at one's whims as one likes, and at the same time become a great meditator by paying a rascal some money. Prabhupada is just condemning at that time in America, people were doing yoga by paying some money.
I heard that
What you heard, Prabhu?
I heard that many times those who are men, they are performing yogas. But here Dehuti, being as a female also, he is also performing yoga.
She was trained to practice yoga, and when Kardam was practicing yoga, when she was serving, she was also doing the same thing. Then, therefore, she controlled the senses for a long time. The princess remained as a celibate wife of a great yogi. Yeah, without the practice of yoga, she could not control herself. That means she also practiced some yoga. That's what yoga lakshana word means. And therefore, she inquired about the spiritual insight because she was already self-realized. So, for the benefit of others, she inquired all this from the Kapil Dev. And she's a mother of a supreme Lord, so she must be trained in a yoga. Even Dhritarashtra was knowing how to perform yoga. He gave his life by yoga agni. Right? It means in those days everybody was trained to perform yoga.
Generally, in Vedic literature, I didn't heard that female they are performing yoga.
They are big yoga guru female now. Yeah, there are some yoginis. I mean, we have these yoginis in the scripture. This Ravan made the girl, she was mated here and performing the austerities and yoga with Vedavati. Yoga high up in Gomukh for many years. She came down and a newspaper reporter asked, so what you were missing there? She says, New York coffee. So after all this yoga, ultimately she was remembering coffee. So it's not easy really to perform yoga, and therefore Prabhupada writes, after yoga, if you don't realize Supreme Lord, then all your endeavors are useless. So she's the only way I was missing the New York coffee. After living high in a tapasya, this is what it means.
One more is there. In previous purport, the Priyavrata Maharaj was ruling these 7 islands. So there are 7 islands on the Bhumandala. So Prabhupada is talking on the continent like Africa and South Africa.
Prabhupada said something that the 7 islands on this planet, but there are the Priyavrata ruled the 7 islands which are surrounded by different oceans, and all the islands are named by the sons of Priyavrata. There is in 5th canto, 1st chapter, the son of Priyavrata, and they ruled each island, Dvipa, and the name is after the name of the son of Priyavrata. So those Dvipa are there, and then among those Dvipa, we live in one Dvipa, Jambu Dvipa. And Jambu Dvipa has a 9 tract of land. And one of them is Bharatvarsh. In Bharatvarsh, these are 7 islands. These 7 islands are within the Bharatvarsh. Because Bharatvarsh is the whole planet Earth surrounded by salty ocean. So actually they are in the Bharatvarsh only, not the 7 other islands. You are right. They will come in 5th canto. Okay? Now we are going to the verse number 5, the last verse of the inquiry. Ruchiyo Bhagavan Brahman Daksho Vaha Brahman Sutaha Yatha Sasarja Bhutani Labdava Bharyam Cha Manavim. Manvi means daughter of Manu, and there are two daughters more of Manu. The Akuti married the Ruchi, and Prasudi married the Daksha. So there are two names already. Here is a name. Ruchi married Akuti. Son was Yagya and Dakshana. And Yagya was adopted by Swayambhu Manu. He was son of Ruchi and Akuti, but Manu adopted that son. And this Yagya is one of the incarnation. He's a Manvantara incarnation. When Rishabdev was ruling, this Yagya was the Indra. And in 8th canto, you will find the son of this Yagya saving Swayambhu Manu from the demons. They were attacking Swayambhu Manu when he was performing austerities in 8th canto. So these are this is what he says, the progeny of these Ruchi and Prajapati Ruchi and Akuti and Prasuti and Daksha. O holy man, tell me how the worshipable Ruchi and Daksha, the son of Brahma, generated children after securing their wives, the other two daughters of Swayambhu Manu. And these two daughters are Akuti and Prasuti. All the great personalities who increased the population in the beginning of the creation are called Prajapatis. Brahma is also known as Prajapati, as were some of his later sons. Swayambhu Manu is also known as Prajapati, as is Daksha, another son of Brahma. Swayambhu Manu had two daughters, Akuti and Prasuti. Prajapati Ruchi married Akuti and Daksha married Prasuti. These couples and their children produce immense number of children to populate this entire universe. Vidur's inquiry was, how did they beget the population in the beginning? Okay, now in the next section, 6 to 12. Kardam pleases the Lord and gets his darshan. So now the answer is starting. So Maitreya first described the descendant of Devahuti and Kardam. So he is starting with the Devahuti and Kardam, then he will go to the Priyavrta. Then he will go to the Uttanpad in 4th canto. And then in 5th canto he will speak about Priyavrta's descendants. So this discussion will continue till the almost 14th chapter of 5th canto. The descendant of Swayambhu Manu's sons and daughters. Okay, Maitreya Vacha. Prajasarje Bhagavan Kardamo Brahmo Uditaha Sasatyam Tapastepe Sahasranam Samatdasha. So there's a word here where Kardama was performing austerities at the bank of Saraswati river. Why he was performing austerities? Because he was asked by Brahma to perform austerities and then enter into the grihastha life and beget children. And this place where Kardam was performing austerity is at Bindu Sarovar. Bindu Sarovar is a place in Gujarat where there is a temple of Kardam and Devahuti, and there is a Kardam and Devahuti and the Bindu Sarovar, and there is a Saraswati river was flowing there. Anybody visited that place? Some devotees visited that place, right? So this place, Saraswati river was flowing there, and Kardam was doing tapasya there, and Bindu Sarovar are the few fallen, what is called? Drops of tears of Lord Vishnu, appreciating the austerities of Kardam Muni. And the Bindu Sarovar was found by that. And on the bank of Bindu Sarovar, there's a temple of Kardam and Devuti. And this place is also called Matru Gaya. Matru Gaya. And the Parshuram is there. He came to perform the rituals for his mother, Renuka. So people still go there for rituals like Gaya. It's called Matru Gaya. It's a good place. Also, in a Garga Santa, there's a description about Bindu Sarovar. Anybody who take bath in Bindu Sarovar, immediately he will meet with Krishna. So Radharani went there, and she met with Krishna there. So Bindu Sarovar is a place where you take bath there, you immediately have darshan of Krishna. I took bath many times, I never had. Only some of our other friend, he was also taking bath there and he lost his glasses. I found those glasses. Now it's a beautiful, beautifully built now. Earlier it was not that, but now it's a good one. It's just by the side of the road. It's 1.5 hour or 2 hour drive from Ahmedabad. So the great sage Maitra replied, commanded by Lord Brahma, commanded by Lord Brahma to beget children. It means Brahma asked Kardam is the son of Brahma. And worshipable Kardam Muni practiced penance on the bank of river Saraswati for the period of 10,000 years. Now Srila Prabhupada's purport is understood herein that the Kardam Muni meditated in yoga for 10,000 years before attaining perfection. Similarly, we have information that Valmiki also has 60,000 years attaining perfection. Therefore, yoga practice can be successfully performed by persons who have a very long duration of life, such as 100,000 years. That is Satya Yuga. In that way, it's possible to have a perfection in yoga. Otherwise, there's no possibility of attaining real perfection. It means yoga, modern day, is useless because you cannot live that long. Following the regulation, controlling the senses, practicing the different sitting postures are merely the preliminary practices. We do not know how people can be captivated by the bogus yoga system in which it is stated that simply by meditating 15 minutes daily, one can attain the perfection of becoming one with God. This age, Kali Yuga, is the age of bluffing and quarrel. Actually, there is no possibility of attaining yoga perfection by such paltry proposals. The Vedic literature for emphasis clearly states 3 times that in this age, Kali Yuga, Kalo nasti, nasti, nasti eva. There is no other alternative, no other alternative. No other alternative means no yoga, no yajna, no gorgeous deity worship. Simply chanting holy name is the process for perfection in Kali Yuga. So, next verse. Tata samadhi yuktena kriya yogena kardamaha samprapede harim bhaktya parapanha varada susham. During the period of penance, the sage Kardam, by worshipping through devotional service in trance, propitiated the personality of Godhead, who is the quick bestower of all blessing upon those who flee to him for protection. Then, through his austerities, using method of worship with concentrated mind, Kardam, with devotion, worship the Supreme Lord, giver of benediction to the surrendered. So the important thing is Kardam used the process of yoga, Kriya Yoga. And Kriya Yoga, as Prabhupada says, is more or less like Bhakti. The significance of meditation is described here. Kardam Muni practiced mystic yoga, meditation for 10,000 years just to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It means, therefore, whether one practices yoga or speculate, which means Gyan, and does research to find God, one's effort must be mixed with the process of devotion. Why? No process whatsoever, it may be karma, jnana, or yoga, will yield any result until unless you mix some devotion with it. Only with the tinge of devotion, these all processes give their result. And that type of bhakti is called mixed bhakti, but that is called Guni Bhuta mixed bhakti. And next mixed bhakti is Pradhani Bhuta mixed bhakti, in which the principle of bhakti is more than 80%, but the karma jnana or yoga is hardly 10-15%. That is called pradhani. That is called mixed bhakti. But Guni Bhuta mixed bhakti is this one, in which they practice only yoga 90%, 10% they add bhakti to get result. Without bhakti, they will not get result. So there are two types of bhakti, the pure bhakti and the mixed bhakti. The mixed bhakti is of two types, the Guni Bhuta and Pradhani Bhuta. So this which bhakti is this here described? Guni Bhuta. Without devotion, nothing can be perfect. The target of perfection, realization, Supreme Personality of Godhead. In 6th chapter Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly stated that one who constantly engages in the Krishna consciousness is the topmost yogi. Where is this in 6th chapter? Yoginam abhi sarvesham madgata andara. Okay. The personality of Godhead, Hari, also fulfills the desire of his surrendered souls. One has to surrender unto the Lord's feet of personality of Godhead, Hari or Krishna, in order to achieve real success. Devotional service or engagement in Krishna consciousness is the direct method, and others' method, although recommended, are indirect. In this age of Kali, the direct method is especially more feasible than the indirect, because people are short-lived, their intelligence is poor, and their power is taken and embraced by so many miserable disturbances. Where is this from? Huh? Just I read from where this is. Praya alpayusha. This is the verse, right? In a Kali Yuga, they are short-lived, they are always disturbed, they are less intelligent. This is the verse paraphrased by Prabhupada. Okay? Lord Chaitanya therefore has given the greatest boon in this age. One simply has to chant the holy name of God to attain perfection in spiritual life. The word Samprapede Harim means that in various ways Kardam Muni satisfied Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari. Samprapede Harim. Some means complete. Prapede, which means satisfaction, trying to satisfy. Kardam Muni not only meditated but also engaged in devotional service to attain perfection in yoga practice or meditation. One must act in devotional service by hearing, chanting, remembering, etc. Remembering is meditation also. But who is to be remembered? One should remember Supreme Personality of Godhead. Not only must remember Supreme Person, one must hear about the activities of Lord and chant His glories. This information is in the authoritative scriptures. After engaging himself for 10,000 years in performing different type of devotional service, Kardam Muni attained the perfection of meditation. But that is not possible in this age of Kali, where it is very difficult to live for as much as 100 years. At the present moment, who will be successful in rigid performance of many yoga rules and regulations? Moreover, perfection is attained only by those who are surrendered souls. Where there is no mention of the personality of the Godhead, where there is surrender, there is no God to whom we surrender. And where there is no meditation upon the personality of God, where there is yoga practice. So yoga is bogus. Unfortunately, people in this age, especially persons who are of demonic nature, want to be cheated. Thus, the Supreme Personality of Godhead sends great cheaters who mislead them in name of yoga and render their lives useless and doomed. In Bhagavad Gita, therefore, it's clearly stated in 16th chapter, verse number 17, that the rascals of the self-made authority, being puffed up by the illegally collected money, perform yoga without following the authoritative books. They are very proud of the money they have plundered from innocent persons who wanted to be cheated. So which is this verse? 16, 17. Huh? Istabada Dhanuman Madanavitaha. Jagante Nam Yagnescha. They, in the name, they perform something to just show people. This is what Prabhupada. So, see how Prabhupada is using the Bhagavad Gita verse in context. So, when we speak on that verse, this is the context for reference. That yogis cheat people like that nowadays. It's not to say anybody's name, but there was one humble devotee in Jagannath temple in Bangalore. I regularly visit there. I just coming from there. He used to come to, when I was there, he was washing the pot and just getting prasad, living outside and washing pots. And he was sometime coming to give me massage. And after, next time I went there, they said, now he's not here. He started some yoga school. And then power yoga. Power yoga. And he becomes so popular that he has many branches in Bangalore now. He fly every week to Jagannath Puri, and he has a Bangalore, and he took me next time. Years back I went. He took me to 5-star some hotel for massage and this some special bath and all that. So his power yoga has become so popular now. He become a big man. This is what is. Somehow he goes every week to Jagannath Puri. He told me once he goes to Jagannath Puri because he started his service from Jagannath temple. So this is something interesting. All of a sudden in a few years he's now is a big man there. So this yoga is quite drama. Yes, Babu. I don't know. No, don't say any name. Only principle. No names. He don't have a devuti to get Kapil Dev. Once there was a seminar, and all the spiritual leaders were invited by this Art of Living school in Bangalore to stop AIDS at that time, immunodeficiency syndrome. So intelligent deficiency syndrome. I printed some, what I'm going to speak, I distributed to them, and then I spoke something. And when we were taking prasad, they put some coconut and a leaf plate, and he was serving himself. He came to me and said, you have actually, there's a big fire in our camp. आग लगा दिया आपने. Brochure कहीं पड़ा होगा. Then Dinmandu put that brochure on an international forum that what I spoke there and what happened there, the whole. I started with Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya like that. Everybody chanted, and then I spoke up. It's not immunodeficiency, it's intelligent deficiency syndrome. and all these sadhus are here just to, you have to train them people rather than you. Anyway, what I don't remember, but the 4 regulation I put and all this, and and then in the evening he has a program. So many people were there, and he was everybody saying like this, and whatever thing we spoke, just ever put it like that. I wanted to get that speech because there is a video they never gave. They deleted that. So all these yogas are good for the health, and if you are healthy, then you can more do sense enjoyment. There's no God in between. So all these yogas are more or less bhoga. Yeah, because you become healthy, then you can enjoy more, that's all. I think people want to enjoy more and they want some facility. And the name of it, spiritually they want this. That's what the verse in 17 of the 16th chapter says. The people use the spirituality to sell their goods. People use the spirituality to sell their goods. Verse number 8. Tavat persano bhagavan pushkarakshah krite yuge darashyam astam kshatah shabdam brahma dadat vapuhu. Kshata is the name of Vidur. Kshata is the name of Vidur. Why this is name? I used to remember, but I don't remember now why he's called Kshata. Now it's not in my mind right now. Then in the Satya Yuga, Kirti is Satya. Kirti means Satya Yuga. The Lord as Supreme Personality of Godhead, being pleased, showed himself to that Kardam Muni. It means Kardam started doing the tapasya in Satya Yuga, in the golden era, and displayed his transcendental form, which can be understood only through the Vedas. Okay, next, Prabhupada's purport. Here 2 points are very significant. Number 1, first that Kardam Muni attained success by yoga practice in the beginning of Satya Yuga, when people used to live for 100,000 years. Kardam Muni attained success, and the Lord, being pleased with him, showed him his form, which is not imaginary. Sometimes the impersonal recommend that one can arbitrarily concentrate one's mind on some form he imagine or which pleases him. Which pleases him. One sadhu used to say, some so-called guru, there are different photos of the demigods and different mantra on them. He said, whichever you want, you choose this. Whichever you want, you choose this. And you chant this, there is a perfection. Then one said, which sir you chant? Say, I don't chant anything. I am already perfect. So this is the bogus system, which is whatever you want, whichever form you imagine. And then you will get perfection. This is just bogus. Okay, but there is but here it is clearly said that the form which the Lord showed to Kardam Muni by his divine grace is described in the Vedic literature. Shabdam Brahm, the form of the Lord, are clearly indicated in the Vedic literature. Kardam Muni did not discover an imaginary form of God, as alleged by rascals. He actually saw the eternal, blissful, transcendental form of the Lord. So, worshipping the Lord until he saw him, Kardam quickly saw the Lord by his mercy. The Lord is known only through scripture. He had the body made of Vedas. This is Sridhar Swami's explanation. The phrase Dadat Vapu can also mean revealing his form of eternity, knowledge and bliss. It can also mean nourished by these scents, garlands and food offered by the Kardam. So what happened now? Darshan of the Lord as seen, 9 to 11. Darshan of the Lord as seen by Kardam. Verse number 9. Sam satam vrajam arkabdam sita padama utapal srajam snigdha nila alka vrat vaktra abajjaha vrajo ambaram. Kardam Muni saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is free from material contamination, in his eternal form, effulgent like the sun, wearing a garland of white lotuses and water lilies. The Lord was clad in spotless yellow silk, and his face was fringed with the silk dark locks of curly hairs. Satam Virvarjam Arakabham. Arak means sun. Arak means sun. Where you have heard this Ark sun in Bhagavatam, your study. Huh? Pranu Arka Udaya Bhagavatam. Krishna left to his planet, in his place the light of Bhagavatam. The word Ark is there, right? Okay. Sita Padam Utpala. Sita Padam Utpadam. Padam means Kamal. Utpal is lily. Sarjam, okay. Snigdha, Neela, Neela. Snigdha, you have some Neela, this word Snigdha sometime? Neela Kuntalai? Damodar, Damodar Leela. So his hairs are like a glassy, bluish black. Vaktra, Abajam. Vaktra, face. Abaja, lotus. Vrajo, Ambaram. So Ambaram is a cloth. The yellow, the clothing, is spotless. So this is the dress, and this is 9 to 12, all verses together, Chakravarti Pad writes, I'm reading the, in the sky, Kardam saw the Lord shining like the pure sun, with a white lotus garland, lotus face surrounded by black locks of hair, wearing a spotless cloth, a crown, and a earring, holding a conch, chakra, club, and white war lily for amusement, with pleasing smile and glance, with Lakshmi on his chest and Kautsav jewel around his neck, his feet placed on the shoulders of the Garuda. Joyful on having his desires fulfilled, Kardama, who had natural love for the Lord, fell down, touching his head to the ground. With folded hands, he offered prayers. So this is all verses together. There's no purport to this verse, Srila Prabhupada's. So we are going to the next verse. Verse number 10. So this is just the ornaments of the Supreme Lord. Around with the, say, adorned with the crown and earrings, is for Kritinam, Kundalinam. This is the word if you want to remember in your life. Krit means crown. Any person's name is Krit, you know? Arjun's name is Kriti. He got a crown from Indra, a special crown, so it's called Kriti. There's a word in Bhagavad Gita, Kriti. Arjun's name is Kriti. He's a special crown from Indra when he went there and fought with Navad Kavacha. And I was sitting on a half asan with Indra. So Indra gave him a special crown, so it's called Kriti. Find out the verse Kriti in Bhagavad Gita, Arjun's name. Kundalam. Everybody know Kundalam. Sankha, Chakra, Gada, Dharam. Shweta, Utpal, Kirdankam. Shweta, Utpal is white lily, right? Kirdankam. Kirdankam means for, it's just playing in the hand. Kirda means just having a play. Manasprashaha, Smit Akshanam. Smita, smiling, akshanam, eyes, glancing with smiling eyes, heart touching, okay? So here the translation. Adorned with the crown and earring, he held his characteristic conch disc, mace, and 3 of his hands, and the white lily in the 4th. He glanced about in a happy, smiling mood, whose sight captivated the hearts of all devotees. This is not in the verse. So to him, he is smiling to whom? For the devotees, okay? Next verse. Through the swelling of the lotus flower, our Lord banishes ignorance. So lily is to remove ignorance. The crown indicates the Premia Balam. The 2 earrings symbolize Sankhya and Yoga. They symbolize the strength of the proof and evidence, Pramana. The mace, conch, disc, the strength of principle, e.g. the earth, water, and fire, have been shown. Ornament emphasizes the absence of blemish and also his virtues, gunas. Okay? Huh? There are some significance of these all things. This is called the earrings are like Sankhya and Yoga, something written like that. Verse number 11. Vinyasta charanaur charanam bojam ansa deshaha guruttamattaha दृष्ट्वा खे अवस्थितं वक्षः श्रियं कौत्सव कंधरम. A golden streak on his chest, which is Lakshmi. A famous Kautshab gem suspended from his neck. He stood in the air with his lotus feet placed on the shoulders of the Garuda. Now Srila Prabhupada's purport. The description in the verse number 9 to 11 of the Lord in his transcendental eternal form are understood to be description from the authoritative Vedic version. These descriptions are certainly not the imagination of Kardama Muni. The decoration of lords are beyond material conception as admitted even by the materialist impersonal like Shankaracharya. Narayan, the Supreme Person of Godhead, has nothing to do with the material creation. It's a normal thing. The varieties of the transcendental Lord, his body, his form, his dress, his instructions, his words are not manufactured by material energy but are all confirmed in the Vedic literature. By performance of yoga, Kardama Muni actually saw the Supreme Lord as he is. There was no point in seeing an imagined form of the Lord. God, after practicing yoga for 10,000 years, work 10,000 years and then you get something imaginary, is useless. Perfection of yoga, therefore, does not terminate in voidness or impersonalism, which means Shunyavad and Nirviseshvad. This voidness is Shunya and impersonal is Nirvishesh. On the contrary, the perfection of yoga is attained when one actually sees the person of Godhead in his eternal form. The process of Krishna consciousness is to deliver the form of Krishna directly. The form of Krishna is described in the authoritative Vedic literature, Brahma Santa. His abode is made of Chantamani stone, and the Lord plays there as a coward boy and is served by many thousand Chantamani Sahasra. This is the verse, right? Lakshmi Sahasra. These descriptions are authoritative, and Krishna conscious person takes them directly, act on them, preaches them, and practice devotions as enjoyed in authority. Are we doing that? We are speaking of Krishna directly. Okay. Now, verse 12. It means the last verse of this section. Kardama Muni pleases the Lord and get his darshan. Jata harshopatam murdhana kshitau labdha manoratham gribhistvabhyaha gnanata prite swabhavatmaha kritanjali. Jata harsho apatam murdhana, what it means? Out of jubilant, he just fell down. He put his head down. Murdhana means head. Kshatau labda manoratham. So, kshatau, he just fell down. And labda manoratham, he achieved his desired goal. And gribhi means by his words. Abhigranata priti, out of love. He says something. When Kardama Muni actually realized Supreme Person of Godhead in person, he was greatly satisfied because his transcendental desire was fulfilled, manoratham. He fell on the ground, murdhana, kshata, kshipta, with his head bowed to offer obeisance unto the lotus feet of the Lord. His heart naturally full of love of God, harsha. With a folded hands, he satisfied the Lord with prayers. Srila Prabhupada's purport. The realization of the personal form of Lord is the highest perfection stage of yoga. In the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where the yoga practice is described, this realization of the personal form of Lord is called perfection of yoga. After practicing the sitting postures and other regulatory principles of system, one finally reaches the stage of samadhi. Absorption in samadhi stage, one can see the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his partial form as Paramatma, or as he is. Samadhi is described in authoritative yoga scripture, such as Patanjali Sutra, to be transcendental pleasure. Transcendental pleasure? Samadhi is transcendental pleasure. In Bhagavad Gita, some purport this word is there. In Samadhi, there is a transcendental pleasure. In purport, this is the verse you are saying, Atyantam Sukham. In purport, there is a verse quoted, there is a word in that verse. Which is connected with the internal energy. In the purport, there is a word. It says, there is a bliss in a samadhi. It means there's an internal potency actually manifesting there, which it means. Samadhi is described by authorities as the Patanjali Sutra to be transcendental pleasure. The yoga system described in this book of Patanjali authority, modern so-called yogi who have manufactured their own ways, not consulting the authorities, are simply ludicrous. Patanjali yoga system is called Ashtanga Yoga. Sometime impersonalists pollute the Patanjali yoga system because they are monist. Patanjali described that the soul is transcendently pleased when he meets the super soul and sees him. If the existence of the super soul and the individual is admitted, then the impersonal theory of monism is nullified. Therefore, some impersonalists and void philosophers twist the Patanjali system in their own way and pollute the whole yoga process. According to Patanjali, one becomes free from all material desires. He attains his real transcendent situation, and realization of that stage is called spiritual power. In the material activities, a person engaged in the modes of material nature. The aspiration of such persons, such people are: number one, to be religious, to be economical and rich, to be get by senses, and to become one with the Supreme. What are these? Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. According to the monist, when the yogi becomes one with the Supreme and loses his individual existence, he attains the highest stage. That is called Kaivalya. But actually, the stage of realization of personal God is Kaivalya. The oneness of understanding that the Supreme Lord is fully spiritual, and that in full spiritual realization one can understand what he is, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is called Kaivalya. So what is Kaivalya? You answer Kaivalya. Is a one Kaivalya is impersonal merging in a Brahm is Kaivalya, commonly. What is the other Kaivalya? Understanding the spiritual nature of the Lord when we attain the spiritual stage. And what is the spiritual stage called? Vishuddha Sattvam. Vishuddha Sattvam. Vishuddha Sattvam Vasudeva Shabdyate. When one goes beyond three modes of material nature, then he can only realize the Supreme Lord, who is also Vishuddha Sattva. So one who reaches to the state of Suddha Sattva can realize the Vishuddha Sattva Lord. Without that, it is not possible to understand Supreme Lord. Anything connected to Supreme Lord is Vishuddha Sattva. So one has to come to the Shuddha Sattva to know Vishuddha Sattva. Is it clear? And how one can come to the Shuddha Sattva? Only by practice of unalloyed devotional service. There's no other way. His proposal means Patanjali's proposal is that when one is free from material desire and fixed in a spiritual realization of the self and super self, that is called Chitta Shakti. Oh, this is the word there. Now the same word Prabhupada has used here, Chitta Shakti. In Samadhi, there is a Chit Shakti which gives the feeling of ecstasy. Chitta Shakti. The Chit Shakti is internal potency of the Supreme Lord. Chitta Shakti is internal potency of the Supreme Lord. Huh? Yeah. In full spiritual realization, there is a perception of a spiritual happiness, and that happiness is described in Bhagavad Gita as the supreme happiness, which is beyond the material senses. Trance is described to be of two kinds. Sampragyata, meditation on the objects, and of the two subtypes, grass objects, savitarika, subtle objects, suvichar. Suvichar and switarka. Suvichar. So these are the two type of samadhi. Sampragyat samadhi of two type are the mental speculation and self-realization. In the samadhi are asampragyat samadhi. One can realize by his spiritual senses the spiritual form of Lord. That is the ultimate goal of spiritual realization. So there are two types of samadhi. This is also in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Exactly same words are there. And this explanation is in Baldev Vidyabhushan's commentary on that Bhagavad Gita verse. What are the two samadhis at least? Sampragyat and asampragyat. Sampragyat is of two types, subtle and grass meditation. Meditation something subtle and something grass. The one which is subtle is called vichar. Sa-vichar. And the one which is grass is called sa-vitarka. And asampragyat is only spiritual, by seeing through spiritual senses the spiritual form of the Lord. The senses are transformed and become spiritual. Not material mind, not material intelligence. It's all spiritual. According to Patanjali, when one is fixed in the constant realization of the supreme form of the Lord, one is attained the perfectional stage, as attained by the Kardam Muni. Unless one attains this stage of the perfection, beyond the perfection of preliminaries of the yoga system, there is no ultimate realization. There are 8 perfections in the Ashtanga Yoga system. One who has attained them can become lighter than the lightest and greater than the greatest, and then he achieves the whatever he likes. But even achieving such material success in yoga is not the perfection ultimate goal. Ultimate goal is described here. Kardam Muni saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his eternal form. Devotion service begins with the relationship of the individual soul and the super soul, or Krishna, and Krishna's devotee. When one attains it, there is no question of falling down. If through the yoga system one wants to attain a stage of seeing the Supreme Person of Godhead face to face, but is attracted instead to attainment of some material power, then he is detoured from proceeding further. Material enjoyment is encouraged by bogus yogis, but nothing to do with the transcendental realization of spiritual happiness. Real devotee of bhakti yoga accept only the material necessity of the life absolutely needed to maintain body and soul together. They refrain completely from all exaggerated material sense gratification. They are prepared to undergo all kinds of tribulation, provided they can make progress in realization of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this whole purport is simply to condemn the so-called yogis and the true nature of Patanjali yoga system. The purport is based on these two things. So next verse. 13 to 22, Kardam's prayers to Supreme Lord. Gayatri? Huh? Gayatri. अटेंडेंस इनको दे दो, बोलो अपनी अपने फ्रेंड दोनों की लगा दे, नहीं आया उसकी भी लगा दे. So we can have a break for Gayatri. Or we can, anyway, we can finish some verses and we can have a break, Gayatri, and then we'll come back after 2. What is the usual timetable here?
1:32 to 30.
So we can do Gayatri, okay. Do Gayatri. I think already stopped this. Gayatri. Ga means cow. O3 means came down. Came down